States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Victor, would you lead us in prayer tonight?
Father God in heaven, we thank you for this beautiful day and the lovely weather that you've given us. God, we thank you for everything that you're doing in the city. We thank you for everything you're doing in the county. God, we ask that you will provide a way and have your perfect will in this place. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Roll call.
Counselor Howard,
Here.
Counselor Lorenz,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Segola,
Here.
Mayor Becker,
Here.
quorum is declared.
Do you have any modifications to the agenda?
No, sir.
Approval of consent agenda, minutes of regular meeting from December 14th, 2023, and review and approval of accounts payable.
Make a motion to approve approval of the consent agenda, minutes of regular meeting, and the review and approval of accounts payable.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve approval of the consent agenda for the minutes of regular meeting from December 14th, 2023, and review and approval of accounts payable. Is there any discussion? Unita?
Counselor Howard,
Yes.
Counselor Lorenz,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Segola,
Aye.
Mayor Becker,
Aye.
motion carries to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, proclamations, communications, and appointments. We will swear in the new councilors. Mr. Howard, you are first.
Mr. Howard, congratulations. Here is your hand, please. Repeat after me. I, Lauren Howard,
I, Lauren Howard,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Colorado
and the Constitution of the State of Colorado
and the Charter and ordinance of the City of Monte Vista,
and the Charter and Ordinance of the City of Monte Vista,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of officer of counselor of which I am about to enter.
faithfully perform the duties of counselor of the office in which I am about to enter.
Congratulations on the council.
Right there, sir.
Lauren Howard.
Yes. That one's yours.
Mr. Watson.
Thank you.
I, Brad Watson, do solemnly swear
I, Brad Watson, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
and the Charter and ordinance of the City of Monte Vista,
and the Charter and Ordinance of the City of Monte Vista,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of officer of counselor
and I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of counselor
that I am about to enter upon.
that I am about to enter upon.
Congratulations.
You don't have that. Let's see. Right, let's see.
Very much so. Congratulations.
Wow, you guys wanted to change your seats.
No.
Should have done it before.
Why now?
Name. Sit down then, Counselor, and I'll put your vote in and we'll send it to the newspaper.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Lauren. Oh, she won that one.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you. I watched your number that night. It was like, yeah, Lauren's gonna win this. It's like.
All right, well, congratulations and welcome aboard, Brad, Lauren, thanks for stepping back in here again.
I didn't get one of these last.
Can we get him one from the last go? He said he didn't get a certificate last time.
That's because it was seated as an alternate.
Oh, because you were seated as an alternate.
Well, we can make
We
something up
appointed
for
you.
you.
Sure, make him one.
That's, it's like, I want one that says alternate on it.
Citizen comments. City council welcomes your unscheduled comments. Please limit comment to 3 minutes. Council will not take action at this same meeting. Any comments from the community? Well, I didn't see you back there, Margaret.
I'm finally here. I got over COVID and everything, and I have really missed not being part of the council. I don't know what's going on in town, and that's just not acceptable. So thank you for everybody. Pleased to see the new people, excited. And I just want to say our town was beautiful over Christmas. The stores decorated, the lighting everywhere. It was awesome. Absolutely awesome. And it just, I was just excited to see so much participation in things. And I just wanted to say I'm happy to be here. And y'all, you got a brand new year ahead, and we're going to do good things. And the coffee shop and the theater is good, and the little craft store. I mean, we're moving right along. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Margot. Anybody else?
Like the enthusiasm.
Okay, we'll move on to scheduled appearances. Rio Grande County Sheriff Ann Robinson requesting support for new facilities. Lay it on us.
All right. Good evening, council members, Mr. Mayor, and members of the community. I come before you, the Sheriff of Rio Grande County, to ask for your support in the form of a letter. We are seeking funding through grants for a new jail facility. Our average population has gone up a little bit in the last 5 years. Obviously in 20 and 21 with COVID, we had reduced numbers of inmates, but our people experiencing incarceration maximum numbers, we have beds for 53. We consider ourselves full at 49. And on the average last year, we ran the facility of 42 people over the course of the year, and that is a per month average. So with that also, our maintenance and repairs bills have increased significantly. The older part of our jail, I just realized, is 70+ years old. The new facility or new portion of the facility, which is our C-Pod, is 25 years old approximately, and things are failing. We just went through ARPA funds in the amount of approximately $400,000 to have a new roof put on our building. Our average cost for maintenance just for the jail, not inclusive of the sheriff's department itself, the administrative offices, is in the neighborhood of $35,000 a year, and it's going up because our plumbing systems are failing. The HVAC system is in need of replacement, et cetera, et cetera. So those are just the numbers. We also need to expand our facility to include state mandates, which calls for visitation facilities, full contact family members, education. We are in need of a medical ward, as we need to isolate people who come in with some significant communicable diseases, illnesses, especially those with behavioral health issues. We don't need to put them in population because they tend to get picked on or they act out, and then we have bigger problems. So we do have an onboard jail nurse and have had for some time, but she really needs a facility that she can conduct her operations in private. And like I said, to isolate the people that need to be isolated. Regionally, we're having a growing population. There's a lot of building you've seen going on, and I can only anticipate that the numbers of people experiencing incarceration are going to go up. With that, we are seeking funding through grants to build a 130-bed facility, and we anticipate that we will likely fill that as we are housing Saguache County inmates, as well as Mineral County, and several parole holds on the short term until they're placed in DOC or they come up for their revocation hearing. So I don't know if you have something you would like to add as my grants person. This is Nancy Lake, our county attorney, and she's our grant writer.
We are.
Would you mind coming up, please? Thank you.
State your name for the record, please.
I'm Nancy Lake. I'm Rio Grande County Attorney. It's nice to see you all. We are in the process. This is our third year of begging for money from the federal government mostly, but we'll be looking for state funds as well. The price tag has gone from 43 million to 58 million in these 3 years. As we all know what.
Just the building, not the land. We've got the land.
That's correct. That's just the building. We have dedicated the land. The land has infrastructure, wells, gas available. Now we have 3-phase electricity to that area also, instead of single phase out of the airport. We're looking to put not just the 130-bed general population together, but looking to create a classroom so that we can provide the state mandated GED for our persons experiencing incarceration. We're looking to have a youth wing, a 20-bed youth wing that would also have access to family visitation that would be completely separated from the adult community, would even have a separate entrance so that we don't have the kids involved with what's going on the other side of the building. We're looking for that medical room. We're looking for a 6-bed mental health ward. Those would be padded cells. And we're looking for an 8-bed medical ward in addition to the mental health ward, because these are the conditions we're facing. We're having overdoses. These parties need constant attention and care. They need to be separated from the general population, and we need to be able to provide behavioral health to these people as well. Also an unfunded mandate. So in designing this new facility, we'll be able to take care of not only Rio Grande population, Saguache population, mineral population, as the sheriff pointed out, the parole holds for the state, but we would also be available then for the overflow from Costilla, Alamosa, Conejos, as happens, and on occasion, we even see people from Archuleta County on this side of the mountain. So we'd really like to have your support. What we're attempting to do is put together a community coalition. That would be each of our cities, our city council people, each of our counties, the county commissioners, and then people from the community that would also help color the verbiage, if you will, so that we can help the federal government understand exactly what our rural needs are. That's why we're here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How many grants are you looking at? Do you have a sense of that? I mean, you talked a lot about mostly the feds, I get that.
Last year, we wrote 4 grants, 1 to the state, 2 to the feds, and 1 to USDA. And that actually looks the most promising for this year. That would be a 55% grant. And then we need to patchwork the other 45%. So we'll be looking to the DOJ, we'll be looking to the Bureau of Justice, we'll be looking to a new area that oddly enough, I wrote a grant, I think it was in 1999, to the Technology Opportunity Grant, TOPS grant, that actually funded our victim notification system statewide. And we housed that whole system and brought it in through the county sheriffs of Colorado through our headquarters there. And that particular grant can probably backfill maybe 8 million because of the communications center that we'll be adding to this also, and the 3 county dispatch. So that's the extra grant that we're writing this year. So we're getting creative, but we still need help.
So you said that you'll be housing Mineral County and Saguache County.
Saguache County had to close their jail. They didn't have the staffing, and the jail that they had was basically a residence that was converted to a jail. So the sheriff and I spoke when I took office, and we deemed that it was in everyone's best interest to go regional, basically. And that's what we're seeking with this facility, is we will basically be a regional detention facility. And we already house mineral counties. We took on Saguache. They are paying us for that. But we're in need of a better place to house our people. This would not require any financial support on your part. We're just seeking the letter of support for our grant to get this facility. Like I say, I only see the numbers and the experiences we're having with the increased use of illegal drugs, that we have special places to put folks and keep them safe. So,
Thank you for your answers. Thank you.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Don't go anywhere, Ann.
yeah,
I'm
okay,
standing right here.
okay, I'm back. I had a little experience, building a jail. We're building an expansion on jail. How much is the county putting into this? I mean, to look for 58 million and expect it all to be grant, I think is pie in the sky.
Well, the county has we've already dedicated the land and the infrastructure to the land. That's gas, water, electric, that's all ready and available. If the county has to go for additional funding, we would take some of the funding that comes from the jail, from the reconstruction of the jail, which would still be used as a sort of a court holding cell, if you would. So we would be moving folks from the main jail center into that facility while we're walking them across the hall, to the court. But and as an administrative center, investigators, things of that nature, DA possibly in that housing also. But we would probably have to put a bond out to the people, and that's you folks too.
We want to make it as minimal as possible. I hate to ask the community for more money. But in all reality, if we're gonna make this happen, it's likely we're gonna have to use a portion of that. The other thought is we're currently, I think we still have 2 more years on our jail payment
Correct.
for the new addition. It's 25 years old. I think we still have 2 more payments on that. So the monies that are already in my budget, that I build my budget to include that, I'm anticipating to include that amount of money to help with the payment.
So between Mineral and Saguache County, how many inmates does that add to your 42 person average?
I will tell you right now that Saguache County on the average is at least 50% of our housing. So they're at least 20 inmates to 25 at the moment. And I know Mineral County's numbers are increasing because they're more proactive.
Yes, this question is for Commissioner Ratzliff.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks for coming. So,
Next.
this is pretty exciting, and we've got the county coroner here. I mean,
Tyler Ratzliff, Rio Grande County Commission.
thank you, Commissioner. So are you guys overbuilding this? 130 beds is a lot. And to keep heated and while they're vacant.
I think they thought they were overbuilding it the last time. And they weren't. So we're nervous that we would use it all.
There is always requests for bed space from other counties we can't accommodate. So with that coming in, because I will tell you, we are getting money from parole, we're getting money from Saguache. Our average right now, daily rate is $66. Most other places are anywhere from 75 to 105 or more. I think Summit County is like at 150 or more right now. Anyway, we can fill those beds and also support that facility by selling those beds. In other words, contracting to have people placed there when there's an overflow at another facility, or they have a need because it's an individual they can't keep there because perhaps one of their staff members has a restraining order with them, or they have a conflict that they can't place that inmate anywhere in their facility because of the conflict with other inmates or because of an ongoing case. So there is always the reach out for, do you have space to house this inmate? in which case then we would be getting funds from them, building in some amount of monies to help support that facility.
There's always a risk when you're bringing in other outside inmates.
There is,
There is.
but we've been doing it for years.
Mhm.
So,
And we do it all the way across the valley.
Yeah.
So, there've been a number of occasions where they have not had the facilities to house mentally unstable patients. We would have those facilities. You know, there have been a number of times when they've had a conflict of interest, where they've had drug abusing clientele that were perhaps related to some of their officers. Things of that nature happen a lot in this valley. And so we would see quite a bit. I think we would see quite a few inmates, persons of incarceration, visiting our facility from other counties.
and here's the sad reality is there are more and more counties that are either closing their jail or don't have one. And I understand statutorily that we're required to maintain a jail. However, if you can't hire the staff and you don't have the people to support that jail, or your facility has degraded so much that you can't keep it open and keep it safe, they're looking for other people to house their inmates. The other part of it is, and I'm gonna be quite honest here, with the reduced contribution from behavioral health and treating our people or finding a bed space for them, either because facilities are full or they deem them not at risk, they're gonna be in our facility. And in general, population isn't where they need to be. So right now, I don't have really any place to put them other than a holding cell that isn't designed for their long-term housing. So with this, we would have a place to put them.
How many beds are you assigning for women?
So what did we design?
It's about 30.
Yeah, we have an increased population of women. I actually had to move my male people experiencing incarceration into a different holding or into a different pod because I had so many women that they needed that larger pod space.
The general population pods are about 40, 40, 30. 30 for female, 40 for difficult parties, and 40 for general. So I understand that's only 110, but we're talking 20 youth beds also, remember? In that 130. Yeah. And we don't have, the whole valley does not have facilities for youth, appropriate facilities for youth, where they can actually have visitations with their families, and they need this. These kids need to stay connected.
Chief.
Did I, maybe I just.
George,
You were
Not
saying
really.
about, there'd be 20 beds for juveniles, is that what you said? So would you have to, I mean, that'd be a little bit different, obviously, there's two.
Whole separate entrance, whole separate side of the facility.
So I guess, are you guys seeing that would be like kind of regionalized, kind of like what PYC is?
No other jail offers it here.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I mean,
Where there's a need.
we ship our kids north all the
yeah, I go
time.
to the campus.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So, but have you guys talked to the state about it? Because I know there's
Yeah.
this reduction in bed space statewide, that the legislators reduced bed space from. It was 400 some, now they've reduced it down and said you can legally hold like 200 some youth across the entire, whether you have bed space or not, you can only hold 200 some.
Right, and
So
they
reduced that.
completely changed the way we deal with youth in the Families First program across the social services. We completely changed it. That does not change the fact that we have youth offenders
Agreed.
that have to be taken care of.
I'm just curious how the state will accept that of actually like opening a new. You know what I mean, new
As
facility,
long as it's separate and isolated.
but when they've already,
Accept
when they
it.
temporary bed space,
Yep.
statewide by statute.
So we aren't wanting to take the place of the youth detention stuff, but this is gonna be like temporary holding, kind of like what you're doing, only it's gonna be more secure.
And it will
My
have,
point being
it will
is-
have more services because it will have educational and behavioral health services attached to it.
I would prefer not to have to fill those bed spaces. I want them available though, because I can tell you my frustration after being in law enforcement for 39 years of not having a place to put somebody. Much as I just heard a trooper tonight had somebody with mental health issues, but that was under the influence and had nowhere to go with this individual. His last resort was taking them to the hospital. That's not the place for him. So we're trying to supply something for the need. And, you know, if we've got to hold certain cells open, that's fine. I mean, we can shut that down. It'll be reduced energy usage and things like that. But this is going to be a more efficient building. So I don't foresee that we're going to be spending a whole lot more than what we're currently spending on a failing building right now.
I don't see that yet.
Yeah, and we've looked at those projections, and I mean, other than the initial startup costs, we're anticipating a little bit extra in running a larger facility, but not by a whole lot because of the amount of monies we're pouring into repairs and maintenance. And I didn't even cover capital expenditures. And we've had a lot of them. So with that, like I said, we're just asking for your support with a letter saying there's a need. We support Rio Grande County in their endeavor to get funding for this facility. And that's it. There's no financial responsibility on your part.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to redirect the city manager to craft a letter of support for Rio Grande County and their efforts to build a new jail.
Second. It's been moved in second to have city manager draw up a letter in support of the Rio Grande County Sheriff's Department with their jail.
Thank you all.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
your
much.
time.
We appreciate it.
Any more discussion on that? Unita?
Counselor Howard,
Aye.
Counselor Watson.
Aye.
Counselor Lorenz,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Segala,
Aye.
Mayor Becker.
Aye.
Motion carries to have city manager draft a letter of support for the Rio Grande County Sheriff's Department to seek grants for new county facility.
And just for your. I fully support the idea of giving you guys a letter of support. I think that how you're going about the funding is unrealistic personally, and I think it's gonna have to go to the voters. We're gonna have to.
My point being is, I don't want it to fully go to the voters. So we're seeking other options before we go that route to show a good faith effort of it not falling completely on them. We're already in a strapped environment right now economically. I personally would love the $0 amount coming to them, but realistically, we know that's not gonna happen. But we're seeing more and more opportunities to build these facilities. And we learned our lessons over the last couple of years on how to approach these. One was turned down merely because we asked for too much. They didn't even bother to ask us what we would accept. So we know there's hope out there in getting the funding, but I don't want to go back to the taxpayers with the full bill.
And I have templates I can send you if you'd like.
No, I took
You know,
notes.
some of the basic talking points.
I already got them written down.
Very good.
Yeah, and like I say, with the funding we're getting from Saguache County to house their people experiencing incarceration. And what we're already paying, we've got income that we can apply that toward funding the facility as well. So. Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Yes, yes.
We need it. Yeah, it's like putting your fingers in the hole in the dam, right? Good night, Mr. Mayor. Stop by and see me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Move to resolutions. Resolution 2024-01, setting meeting day and designated public place of posting meeting notice for 2024.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you is Resolution 2024-01. This is a yearly resolution to set the meeting dates and posting place for City Council. Whereas the elector of the city of Monte Vista, Colorado established a charter amendment to Section 22 of the Monte Vista City Charter, specifying that the time of the regular meetings of Monte Vista City Council shall be established by the City Council at the first meeting in January of each year. And whereas the provision of CRS 246402-2C state that the public place of places for posting notices of meetings shall be designated annually at a local public body's first regular meeting of each calendar year. Now therefore, it hereby resolved by City Council of the City of Monte Vista, Colorado. 1, the regular meeting of the Monte Vista City Council shall be held on the first Thursday of each calendar month in the Monte Vista City Hall, commencing at the hour of 6 p.m. and continuing the regular meetings shall be held on the third Thursday of the month and shall have likewise be held at 6 p.m. 2, a work session meeting of City Council shall be held on the date and time voted on a regular scheduled council meeting or may be scheduled by the city manager. 3, the public place for posting notice of meetings shall be upon the front door of the Monte Vista City Hall located at 95 West First Avenue at Monte Vista, Colorado, and also located on the City of Monte Vista website. I would ask for approval on this resolution this evening and this be designated and start as of this evening.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2024-1, setting meeting date and designating public place for posting meeting and notices for 2024. Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2024-01, setting meeting day and designating public place of posting meeting notices for 2024. Is there any more discussion? Unita?
Counselor Howard,
Aye.
Counselor Watson,
Aye.
Counselor Lorenz,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Segola,
Aye.
Mayor Becker.
Aye.
Motion carries to approve resolution 2024-01, setting meeting day and designating public place for posting for the meeting notices for 2024.
Move to staff proposals and reports already. Public Works.
I think so, you can't yell at me. No written report tonight. I'll have a written report for the council at our next meeting in February. Really for us, just get some updates on the new year. We are starting the new year 2 folks down. Back right before Christmas, we lost our senior operator in our streets department, and then today was the final day for our street supervisor. So we are starting with 2 very key positions down the new year. We're advertising currently, and we'll be having interviews. We'll do the first bus next week. So hopefully by January, we'll at least have one of those 2 positions. But other than that, we're gonna keep the Christmas decorations up through the end of the month. And then we'll take down anything that would be Christmas, like packages and stuff like that. We'll leave the snowflakes up through the winter and take those down probably in March. Last year, people were talking about that, so I just thought I'd give you that information. So you would have that. The other front is, even with this little bit of snow we're getting, the temperatures are still cold enough that frozen meters are still a very real possibility. We are starting to see a small uptick in the amount of frozen meters we're getting. So if you are a resident whose home has the potential to freeze or has frozen, we do ask that you start running water. We are giving everybody 15,000 gallons. This year we're going to enforce, we will fix a meter twice at the same residence, and if we have to come back on the 3rd time, we are going to charge them our time and materials. So that'll roughly be $9 per meter. So just want council to know that we haven't really enforced that in years past. We are this year. So just we're giving everybody a couple of warnings, and hopefully we don't have to keep going back to the same houses. So
How many times a year do you have to go back more than twice to the single location?
depends on the residents, but the last 2 years, and the reason we're pushing it We went to a few residences in excess of 5 times
Oh, my
to
gosh.
fix their meter. They would literally let it run in the evening after the meter would fix. Get ready to go to work. They would think during the day that's warm enough. They would turn their water off and come back home and their meter. It is, like I said, especially if you're, have a mobile home or something along those lines, it's really critical to kind of follow those rules and run the water. And really, I'll just open it up for the new council members if you have any questions or anything we could possibly answer. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. PD.
Good evening, Mayor, Councilor, welcome. Thank you, welcome. Glad to have you back. Glad to look back here. I really don't have very much either. We just completed our reorganization for, and did some promotions and stuff like that. We're in the process of, testing for corporal. Hope we have that done. Just grants as usual, working on a bunch of grants. And then by the end of the month here, I'll have the final stats for 2023 and I'll actually provide a report on that on crime stats for 2023. So far, it looks actually we're down quite a bit in like auto thefts. Last year was crazy with auto thefts. But the state actually changed the statute back to help us a lot because it was, if you remember last year, we talked about this a little bit. You could steal a car and you would bond out and steal a car and bond out, steal a car. And I mean, it was just crazy because they were releasing one person with cognizance. So you would get arrested, go to jail, and they'd be like, yeah, just don't do that again and come back tomorrow and stuff. So, but they changed it. They actually, yeah, it was ridiculous. Well, the whole bond thing, you've heard me complain about that a lot in here about, you're arresting people with 5,000 fentanyl pills and it's a $450 bond and stuff. So that's a whole bigger issue. But so I'll have that. But actually, like I said, overall crime, the overall crime stats are they, at least the violent crime anyway, looks like it's going to be down. Hopefully significantly in several of the areas and stuff, assaults and we only have one homicide and that was a drug. That's the one that we did the first one in the valley of arrested a drug dealer that divided the fentanyl that resulted in the death of someone. So it's, I think it was only like the 4th or 5th one in the entire state. And Michael and Zeke did a phenomenal job with that. So that's actually should be coming up to trial here in the next probably 6 months or so. And then again, grants, I just put in for a $70,000 grant to get us brand new handheld radios. These radios are, they're about 4 years old, but just anytime I can get grants to upgrade our equipment without any cost to the city, working on that. And other than that, that's all I've got. Happy New Year and shoot any questions. And again, welcome. Glad you're back.
Thank you, Chief. IT.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Been trying to keep it short and sweet as usual. We had a network outage at the beginning of December that actually killed some of our equipment. It killed our rack mount UPS, which is our battery that keeps all our equipment up in case of a power outage. The power outage lasted long enough to run the battery out and thus killed the battery in the long run. So the equipment has been replaced since, and we're back up and working in full capacity in that sense. We have a new campaign for our No Before training coming out. I'm sure some people have seen the emails coming through. We had an issue with that initially, so that will be restarting the 15th of this month. So anything that has come in already, please disregard it. We have a new host in our rack, which is a server. We are planning on using that possibly as a lab or moving it into another storage capacity for the city. So that way we can hopefully keep everything running up without running into any storage issues. We have fiber from the IT office all the way back to the PD now. So that is a glass wire that allows the networking to go through without all the copper in the ground. We're thinking the copper was causing some noise on our network, and that has actually helped quite a bit in cutting up the noise over there and getting the network speeds back up to where it should be. And then we moved around the finance offices as, you know, Anita moved to a different office and Michelle took over her old office. So we aided in moving around their equipment. The PD rewire has been completed, so they're into their own rack entirely. All their wall ports are now terminated on that side of the building instead of running all the way through over to the IT office. And we have redone the squad room in its entirety with the help of the officers after they got the new cubicles. Other than that, I have nothing else to report, and I want to say welcome aboard, Mr. Watson, and happy new year. Are there any questions?
Anybody, questions? Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, thank you guys.
Thank you.
City manager. That's the biggest note I've seen you carry up here.
No, it's just this part right here.
So I go into the sport notes on this one.
That's right, that's right. So first, Happy New Year. All staff's back, ready to rock and roll. Which is exciting. We're still in a search for a finance director. So that's, Anita has gracefully said that she'll stick around until we can get that issue resolved.
We should not look for one.
What?
Yeah, we're not gonna look for one.
Long, let's just stick around.
This is it. I've got to keep moving, so. We had a good beginning strategic planning with staff earlier this week. DJ led that discussion. And so he's going to go back and kind of fine tune with each of the directors, and then we'll bring that together and then sit down with you guys and see all the good things that we're working on and see if there's something that you guys like to move up on the priority list and go from there. So that's just been kind of the big thing. I mean, we've all been busy with meetings this week. And it's only January 4th, you know. The one sad thing about losing Lowell Bolt with his resignation is he got certified last year to be our weed. He got certified to be the weed person to spray our noxious weeds.
Yeah, you gotta use that license.
So we are gonna have to talk about that again and see what we're gonna do. The county is having a meeting next week, and so I'll go and visit with them and see what they've got on their plate. Monday is also, again, the luncheon with the county commissioners. You guys can make that. It's at 11:30 at Eduardo's.
11:30.
And if you have any topics you want to bring up, either let me know and I'll help you remind you, or I'm already making a list of things that we need to visit with them about. And Anita will probably need to post that. City and the county will have to get that posted. This next week is also the annual water ditch meetings that I'll attend for the consolidated ditch and the Lariat ditch. Those are the two ditch companies that we have our water shares with. So I've been talking with our engineer to see if there's anything of particular we need to bring up and visit with them about. And then since you all have city emails, should have gotten an email from Brandon saying you have to take your know before training. Please do that. We find out who does do it and who doesn't. It took me like 15 minutes today. It's no big deal. So we've already had a couple phishing scams come through this week, and so the bad guys are out there. And Brad, I don't know if you would have gotten it, but we'll send that back out to you because I'm not sure when that came.
That went live January 1st, but it does refresh again. So.
Okay. And it needs to be done by the end of January. So let's roll up our sleeves and get started.
Thank you, Gigi.
Rob.
Add one thing.
Yes, sir.
I need to see if city council, I forgot. Would you be able to attend a work session on the water meters on the 17th of this month, Wednesday before the 18th, which is the next council meeting? It's the rescheduling of the one that was supposed to take place right there before Christmas.
That's a Will Dan.
Yes,
They're gonna show up.
What time?
yes. We'll do it 6. Does that sound good? 5:36?
Is it 5:30 or 6?
Let's go back there. Out of here.
Are they gonna be here in person?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Okay, council committee, city commission, council reports. Councilor Rams. Have nothing. Pro tem Sadal.
Happy New Year. It's cold outside. Be careful on the roads. Enjoy the winter. That's all.
For Howard.
No, I don't really have much. I guess. Happy New Year to everybody. Look forward to a good year of some good things. Hotels. Everything.
Councilor Watson.
Happy New Year, everybody. I'm excited. Scared. It's like, oh, one more thing to do, yeah. But, no, I see good things happen. And Jesus on top of it too, so it's like, oh, yeah, I'll play part of this. Oh, thank you.
And congratulations, by
Yeah,
the way.
thank you.
Congratulations.
If you voted for me, thank you. If you didn't, thank you.
Okay, well, happy New Year to everybody. City looked great. Heard a lot of great compliments from people traveling through during the holidays about how our town looks, so. Really happy for that. So with that being said, we will adjourn the meeting or recess the meeting until January 18th, 6 p.m. here at City Hall. Thank you all for being here.
I got a nice surprise donation for the holiday lights, $2,000. So my goal right now